Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today, I want to discuss if Bruce Lee was actually good at fighting. Before you jump onto the comments section, take time to go through the entire video to understand my perspective. Bruce Lee may have died almost 50 years ago, but one question has plagued the internet like a bad case of ringworm: was he good a fighter? Though his status as martial arts philosopher, teacher, practitioner, and fitness guru is well documented, how well he would actually do in a fight doesn't seem so cut and dry. Was he just an actor? Would he do well in the octagon? In a back alley? Digging through the enormous pile of forum posts, articles, and anecdotes, the evidence seems to be pretty clear. Here we will explore both sides. First, Bruce Lee was a teacher, not a fighter. 1. He didn't have a lot of experience taking punches to the face. Street fights might be short, but there's a lot of time on that clock in the ring. Compared to MMA guys or boxers who constantly take damage points during their fights, Bruce avoided, wisely, getting bashed around. If someone with some mass hit him, would he fall like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover or pick himself up like Master Wayne? 2. He rarely fought. For someone who devoted their life to studying martial arts in both a practical and scholarly manner, Lee rarely got caught up in impromptu duels of fisticuffs and did not participate in tournaments like Chuck Norris. 3. Most of his fights are poorly documented. Despite having only fought a handful of times, a solid chunk of the documentation is anecdotal or straight-up hearsay. Considering the significant legend status all of Bruce's hagiographers have produced, it's hard to know what to believe. 4. There are rules in the ring, not so much on the street. Lee's training and interests were almost utilitarian, devoid of consideration for a ring, mat, or game. If anyone had ever wanted to put a Bruce Lee versus whoever, they would have had to do it with restrictions because a fight to the death isn't an option. 5. He was an actor. To many people, this is damning evidence against his skills. It's unclear why, but due to its near bacterial presence on the internet, it seems worth mentioning. Second, Bruce Lee was a teacher and a fighter. 1. Many people who probably know what they're talking about say so. Mike Tyson says so. Inside Karate Magazine wrote an article weighing the evidence and said so, and quoting people like Mike Stone, strongest pound for pound, much stronger than I am, and Joe Louis, fastest and most intelligent, greatest martial artist of all time, on Lee's excellence. 2. He would do well if the fight was dirty. Lee's interest in anatomy and physiology is well documented, so he knew where it could hurt. If the fight was no holds barred, you can be sure he would have used all of this knowledge, which extended past the eyes and groin. It's not dirty if it's to the death. The tournaments Norris did, that Lee didn't do, would disqualify someone if they hit too hard. They were more like chess matches and were not representative of an actual fight. 3. Lee possessed the qualities a fighter needs. His reflexes were faster than a jaguar hopped up on methamphetamines. He was in incredible shape. He could knock a large man over from an inch without cocking his fist back. 4. He sparred and practiced on metal dummies. Inside Karate Magazine's article says he frequently trained by hitting metal, which toughened his fists. Though he didn't fight much, it wasn't like he was punching in the air. 5. He was incredibly good at blending martial arts. Lee learned grappling and was good at blending them, making him a formidable opponent on his feet or on the ground. 6. He did fight people. And win. Though he didn't fight much, he sometimes did. He beat the boxing champion of his high school without being a boxer. People occasionally said he was just an actor and tried, and failed, to prove it. This happened on the Enter the Dragon set, and begging ensued. His widow Linda said he fought a master in the US who didn't want him to teach to people of non-Asian descent. He won with his Wing Chun skills but didn't think he won fast enough and invented his martial art. He also destroyed a black belt karate dude on a YMCA handball court. In 11 seconds. The mat was red. Former student Skip Ellsworth says he could end any physical confrontation within 3 or 4 seconds. The jury is in. Was Bruce Lee a real fighter? Obviously. Could Bruce Lee win in a fight against Chuck Norris? It's hard to say for sure, but poring over stories and information from the people that knew him, it seems that he was incredibly legit. The blog Without Writing puts together a pretty compelling case that Chuck Norris would be mopped up after. Against heavyweight mixed martial artists or Muhammad Ali, not everyone agrees. But some say he'd stay low and kick the legs like Inoki and use his endurance to wait a big man out. Too bad we never got to find out. R.I.P. Bruce. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, subscribe and share to keep us motivated for making more of such content.